Good afternoon and welcome to our session today. My name is Quintress Safala and I am joined by my moderator who is Upindiloaga Mavundla, who will be in charge of our chat box. So if you have any questions, comments, please do let us know in the chat box. I am from SchoolNet South Africa. However, today I'll be representing Google Digital Skills for Africa. So today's topic, we will be looking at implementing Google Workspace across your business. So what is our agenda for today? So we will look at what Google Workspace is, which tools are available in Google Workspace, the core functionalities of the workspace, as well as the benefits of using digital workspace. We will also identify the tools that boost communication across the businesses, and we'll also look at which tools can increase collaboration across your team to make your business much better. But before we begin, I'd like to let you know that Google is offering free one-on-one mentoring if you are a small business or a charity. All you have to do is sign up for Google Mentoring at the link that is shown on this presentation. That way you'll have access to the benefits that they have. Before we begin, I'd like to throw a question. What tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? There are so many tools that are out there. There is Slack, there's emails, there's instant message, there's video calls. Let me know in the chat box, what tools do you currently use to collaborate or communicate within your business? You look at the ones that I've mentioned, like I've said, Slack, email, instant messaging, video call, or maybe you are using WhatsApp or Messenger, the Facebook Messenger. You can just let us know which tools you are currently using to communicate and collaborate within your business. I'll come back to this question. Please do drop your answers in our chat box and we will read them out to everybody else. Firstly, we will look at Discover Google Workspace. But before we get into the content, do you currently use Google Workspace? And if so, how do you use it? So I know that other businesses use Google Workspace to save files in their shared drives, to collaborate as a team, to email each other, which is the standard one that everybody is doing, emailing each other. But how do you currently use Google Workspace if you do have Google Workspace? So that is another question that I will drop for you to answer. You can just answer in the chat box and I'll come back to it as the session goes. So what is Google Workspace? So Google Workspace used to be called G Suite. It is an example of a digital workspace where it enables people to work online wherever there is stable internet connection. So basically, Google Workspace is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools. It allows you as users to create documents, spreadsheets, slides, and many more other functions that are within the Google Workspace platform. You can also store data, files, and information safely and securely. And what you should know is that with Google Workspace, it is sold and marketed globally by Google. So now, which tools are included within the Google Workspace? So we have, counting clockwise, we have Docs, we have Google Gmail, we have Calendar, we have Drive, Meet, Keep, Chats, Gembot, Admin Console, Sheets, Slides, Site, and Forms. So there are also a few other tools that are included, such as Google Current, which we will look at a bit later. But these tools are the main ones found on the Google Workspace. So we will also look at the functionalities and features of each of these tools later on in our session. So now let's look at the core functionalities of Google Workspace. So Google Workspace core functionality is to create documents and presentation, to record, analyze, and present data, as well as to brainstorm ideas, manage projects, and as well as store files. And with Google Workspace, you can also communicate globally. So now let's look at creating documents and presentation. So Google Docs and slides can both be used to create documents and presentation. With Google Docs is a word processing for Teams. You can create and edit text documents directly in your browser. And please note there are no indicated software required. Several people can work at the same time, and every change that is done on the document is saved automatically on the cloud. And if you work on a single document with the team members or people outside your company, you can also see edits as people type onto your on your document, and you are able to communicate through the built-in chat that is within the Google Doc, and ask questions by including comments if there is something that you don't understand in your document, because mainly they are used to collaborate and create documents. We also have Google Slides. So Google Slide creates and edits polished presentation in your browser. Still, there is no software required for this. Several people can work at the same time so that everybody has the latest version of the presentation. You can work on a single presentation online with your business partner or your whole team, or just external contents that you'd like to evaluate a project on. You can also control who gets permission in terms of your presentation. So, who gets permission to edit, to view, or to just add comments on the presentation that you have designed or someone within your business has designed. And one thing about Google Slides, it's more user friendly than PowerPoint presentation. So now we will look at recording, analyzing, and presenting data. Please note we're still looking at the core functionalities of Google Workspace. So Google Forms and Sheets can be used to record, analyze, and present data. Google Forms is easy to create surveys and forms for everybody. One is able to collect data with ease to create custom forms for surveys or questionnaires at no extra cost. You can gather everything in a spreadsheet and analyze the data directly from Google Sheets. So it works together with Google Sheets. You can create a form as easily as creating any other document, and you can select from a multiple question types, drag and drop to reorder questions, and customize values as easily as pasting a list. So it's a very user-friendly form that you can create at any time as long as you have internet connectivity. There's also Google Sheets. Google Sheets is collaborative, smart, and secure spreadsheet for fast-moving organizations. With Sheets, it was designed with the needs for agile organizations in mind. So the artificial intelligence feature means that you're able to keep tab into the right insights to make meaningful business decisions. With Google Sheets, there is a cloud based architecture that enables you to collaborate with anybody, anytime, and anywhere. It also has a compatibility with external systems such as Microsoft Office, and also removes the frictions of working with multiple data sources. So with Google Sheets as well, there is a built on top of Google infrastructure. So Sheets gives you a freedom to create while helping to keep your information secure. So whether you're planning an event or you're just sharing the latest revenue figures, Sheets makes it seamless for your team to work together. So it's one of the best tools to collaborate. So you can easily add collaborators to the projects to see any changes as they occur. You can receive notifications for edits that happen while you are away, if you're going out and you're leaving your team to work on a certain project. And also your team can chat within the same document if there's other things that they do not understand. So all these changes that happen within Google Sheets are saved automatically, and you have access to an offline access where you can create and view edit files wherever and whenever. So the offline access allows you to work on the Google Sheets when you don't have internet, but you need to save or create the document to be offline while you have internet. So now we will look at the benefits brought by Google Workspace. So Google Workspace allows us to have increased collaboration. It also allows us to have better communication, to work smarter, and also have an enhanced security. So now we will look at these four main benefits individually. First, we said that Google Workspace allows us to have increased collaboration. So with Google Workspace, it stores your information in the cloud, which enables us to share documents and files with much ease. So you simply share a file URL or share documents or files via email. It also encouraged the teams to collaborate and share ideas, but with with the collaboration, or rather Google Workspace, it also allows you to restrict editing access. So certain people can only view, while others can comment, or others can also edit on the specific document. You can also track changes and comment with ideas so that you can work together with your colleagues across a project. Now we will look at how can we make our communication much better. So with Google Workspace, it has a number of communication tools included within its offerings. So the core communication tools that are included are your Gmail, which is your Google email tool. We have Google Meet, which is for video conferencing. We have Google Current, which is a revolutionary technology that harnesses deeper communication. And we also have Google Chat, which is an instant messaging tool. So now we will look at another benefit, which is the ability to work smarter. So we can use Google Workspace to help our team work smarter and not harder. This is by we can collect and analyze or turn data into insights, both from our customers and from our team. So this will harness our data and knowledge to make better decisions about our business. So we can also streamline our workflows and processes and store and manage files, as well as communicate and collaborate via one central system. We can also prevent threat before they happen with the proactive security tool that is powered by Google Artificial Intelligence. So people can also find exact files, content, and knowledge they need. And also the built-in artificial intelligence helps everyone work with data and turn it into insights. Also remember this, these insights are the ones that help you collect data and make, or rather harness, better decisions about your business. Now we'll look at the last benefit of Google Workspace, which is enhanced security. So with enhanced security, you can store data, files, and documents on the cloud. This is via Google Drive. And you can use the admin console to centralize your administration. And with the security feature, you can use integrated cloud identity feature to manage your users and set up security options like a two-step verification and security keys. You can also protect your organization with security analytics and best practice recommendations within the security center. And the last thing about the security feature of Google Workspace is that you can identify and prevent threats with Google powered artificial intelligence, right? So now, how do you set up Google Workspace accounts? Like I've been mentioning Google Workspace throughout the session. So to create your Google Workspace account, you need to first visit googleworkspace.google.com/signup.business starter. Right? So once you have done this, you'll then click on Get Started and follow the steps below. So you will then enter the core business details or your business name, which will include your business name, the number of employees that you have, and your location. Once you've done that, you will add your contact details. This will be your first name, your last name, as well as your email address. Once you've done that, you'll have to then choose your domain. This is either the one that you have bought or a suggested domain that you have. From there, you update your business address and choose your username and password. So, how do you get set up with Google Workspace? So, first, you create your business email address. So, you don't need to add email addresses as user accounts. Instead, you need to create your email aliases and group these addresses for your business communication. These type of addresses are free and don't count towards your Google Workspace user license. Your email aliases are good for one person. For example, you create the address info@yourcompany.com. This for your customers to contact your company, or you can add your business address, which would be you@yourcompany.com, or you can your customers can send messages to info@yourcompany.com and also arrive at you@yourcompany.com. So you could be quintress@yourcompany.com, info@yourcompany.com, right? You can also group your addresses. If your team needs a business address, you can create one like sales at your company or support at your company. Then everybody in sale can have or rather receive messages to that sales@yourcompany.com in their inbox. Number two, you need to add members and users. So before people on your team can sign in and access your Google Workspace service, they need user accounts. So during your free trial period with Google Workspace, you can create up to 10 user accounts during your trial period. If you are using the setup wizards, you will follow the steps to add users. After setup, you can also add user in the Google admin console, right? And then to add more than 10 users, you must add you must end your trial and sign up for either a flexible or annual billing plan. And if you are using a setup wizard, choose your manual setup option to open your Google admin console and then click billing so that you are able to choose your suitable billing plan. Lastly, in terms of getting set up with Google Workspace, you need to migrate your data and import files. So when switching to Google Workspace from another application or service such as Microsoft Outlook, you can bring your existing mail, contacts, and calendar data with you. You can also upload all your documents into your new Google Workspace drive and store your files securely. So it's quite easy to actually move all your documents and your existing contacts and mail to Google Workspace. So I've said quite a lot in terms of Google Workspace. I'm just going to take a few minutes to answer any questions that you may have. Please do engage with us in the chat box and leave us any response to the questions that I've asked earlier on, or any comment in terms of the session. And you can also communicate with us in our various social media platforms. Do we have any questions so far? Right. Okay. I see that we don't have a question, so I will continue. So if you do have any questions throughout the session, please do let us know in the chat box and we will notify. I will answer any questions you have. If you have a comment about a specific tool I'm referring to, please let us know and let's educate each other in terms of the tools. Now we will look at how to boost communication across our businesses. So which tool can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? I know I've mentioned earlier on communication tools that Google Workspace have, but which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication within your business? Please do let us know in the chat box which tools can you use, or rather, which tool works best for your business. So the key communication tools that Google Workspace has is Gmail, Google Current, Google Meet, and Google Chat. So now we will look at them individually and go into depth in terms of the different communication tools. Firstly, we'll look at Gmail. So You can communicate globally with ease using the Google free email tool, which is called Gmail. It allows you to send files as attachments, to create group and mailing lists, to access the integrated calendar in order to stay connected and up to date with both your business as well as your personal use. So, with the latest Gmail, it makes it easier to stay on top of work that matters with a secure and ad free email as a foundation. So, you can also chat, you can make voice or video calls, and you can stay on top of project work with shared files and tasks. And all of these things that I've mentioned are all done within the same platform, which is Gmail. So you can build customer trust by giving everybody in your company a professional email address with your domain. For example, Quinterest at your company, Joe at your company, Priya at your company. And you can also create a group mailing list such as sales at your company. So suggested actions like smart reply, smart compose, grammar suggestion, and nuts can help you stay on top of your work and take care of the simplest task that makes your time more efficient. So Gmail works hard to keep you safe. There's machine learning that blocks more than 99.9% of spam, phishing, and malware from reaching our users. And with Gmail, it works great with desktop clients such as your Microsoft Outlook, your Apple Mail, your Mozilla Thunderbird, and Outlook users can sync emails, events, and contacts to and from Google Workspace. You can also migrate your email from Outlook, Exchange, or Lotus easily with a customized tool that help preserve your important messages. So also you can count on Google's secure, resilient global infrastructure to keep your lights on 24 hours a day, 365 a year, with automatic backups, spam protection, industry-leading security measures that help protect your business data. So this is Gmail in a nutshell. So now we will look at Google Meet. So to keep your team connected, there is a video conferencing tool that allows you to meet and communicate with your team, or rather your customers, if or your clients rather. And this is Google Meet, which is included within the Google Workspace and G Suite for Education. So you can take advantage of the same secure by design infrastructure, the built-in protection, and the global network that Google uses to secure information and safeguard your privacy. With Meet Video, the meetings are encrypted in transit, um, and they measure that your meetings are safe when you have this meeting. You don't really have to worry about safety, like I've mentioned the safety features that Google has. So all of the important events details are right there when you need them, whether you are joining from a computer or a phone. This is because the Google Meet details are in sync or included from your calendar invite or your email invite. So with Google Workspace Enterprise Edition, you can also create a dial-in phone number for each meeting so that every guest has a great experience, even if they don't have Wi-Fi or data. So you're able to connect with the dial-in phone number. Now we will look at Google Current. So you can engage with your employees, foster more meaningful conversation, and stay connected with Google Current. With Google Current, it allows you to work towards a common goal, to build a community, and to communicate your ideas and get instant feedback within the same platform. You can share ideas with your employees and gather input through meaningful, focused discussions on a specific topic that matters to your organization. You can connect with your team members no matter where they are, right? Even remote workers and deskless colleagues can stay plugged into your latest company updates and conversations with either Android or iOS applications, right? So the important thing with current is that it allows you to stay communicated, and to build a community within your organization. So the main thing about it is to build a community within your space. Now we will look at Google Chat. So Google Chat allows you to send anything from direct messages to group conversations. And Google Chat allows, or rather helps, the team and the business to communicate efficiently from anywhere. So you can securely connect with anyone you work with and take group work to the next level with the shared chat files and tasks. So you are able to share practically almost anything within Google Workspace in your chat space. Right? You can upload items from your drive, you can collaborate on docs and sheets or slides, and you can join online meetings with Meet and use Google Powerful Search to look up room members, post past conversations, and share files. And the chat builds on Google Workspace security um, allows it to be reliable and compliant in terms of the safety features they have, right? So that is your Google Chat, which allows you to basically communicate, share files, and voice out any issues that you have within your organizations, praise each other if other colleagues are doing good, and just basically makes communication efficient and effective. So, what are the top tips of maximizing your communication? So, we will look at these the four top tips, which is to recreate in-person communication, to stay organized, to create mailing lists, as well as to set up projects and team rooms. Excuse me. Right. Step one is to recreate in-person communication. So there are four ways in recreating in-person communication, which includes scheduling regular team calls and to like check-ins with Google Meet and Hangouts, because it can be, for example, if you're remote working, it can be quite boring, or rather, you could feel socially left out. So, the regular team calls and check ins are quite important to also make sure that you connect as colleagues, whether it's locally or across the globe. You can also brainstorm ideas and work on team projects, and also hold virtual events if you have events that are happening anytime soon. And with recreating in person communication, you can join from either your mobile or your desktop devices, which makes it easier for anybody to join a communication platform. Number two, we will say stay organized, right? So you can improve your communication across teams through Google Calendar. So with Google Calendar, you can create multiple team calendars to track your meetings, your training sessions, your vacations, and any other things that is included within your plan for the day, the week, or the month. You can also improve visibility an organization by ensuring that all team members remain connected, right? You also spend less time planning and more time doing the required things that integrate seamlessly with your Gmail, your Drive, your contacts, right? You can also schedule events quickly by checking your colleagues' visibility, or layering their calendars in a single view. You can also share calendars so that people can see your full event details, or just to check if you are free for them to connect with you, right? You can also view or edit your scheduled events from your phone, your tablet, or use the optimized mobile app or sync with your phone built-in calendar. You can also share special events with your customers and let people know when you are available with easy calendar publishing. Next, or rather step three, you can create your team mailing list. So, with your team mailing list, you can create a Google group email list, such as team@google.com or sales@google.com. You can also send a status update to the group. You can CC the group into your emails and share resources. This will then increase visibility and foster a community within your organization. And then step four, we can set up a project or team rooms. So you must encourage your team members to stay connected by creating a room in Google Chat or chat in Gmail. This encourages team members to network with each other, to share project ideas, to exchange thoughts on the best practices. And this will also create a stronger sense of community, getting to know each other as colleagues, to engage, and also to just have a quick laugh together in the organization. So I'm just going to pause for a moment to see if we have any comments or answers to the previous questions that I have, um, or rather, any comments. Can I just quickly check? Right, I see Brenda Mohale says that I am currently using Google Gmail and Google Drive, which because it makes my work easier. Right, true. So with Google Gmail, sharing work, sharing files, makes it much easier to work with your colleagues, to work with your clients. Google Drive makes it easier to save all those documents that you're creating and to collaborate with people while it's being saved, automatically saved on your Google Drive. So it's important that we always have our internet stable for us to use these Google tools that we have. So now I will continue to the last part of our section, which is to leverage tools to increase collaboration. Here's a question for you. Which tools can you use on Google Workspace to create, or rather to increase collaboration? I'll give you a moment. Which tools can you use on Google Workspace to increase collaboration? So I'll come back to those questions, and maybe we'll have an answer in our chat box or a comment in the chat box with regards to the tools that we can use to increase collaboration within Google Workspace. So there are four ways of collaborating across projects and teams. We can brainstorm ideas, we can share working files, we can make suggestions and tag colleagues, and we can also track changes. All right. So now, one way of increasing collaboration, excuse me, is to harness the power of digital whiteboards. This is to share ideas and improve brainstorming sessions. So with Gembot is connected to the cloud and it enables people from different locations to work together in real time through multiple touchpads or touch points. With Gembot, you can write and draw with the included stylus. You can search on Google and insert images and web pages. You can drag and resize text and images with your fingers. You can sketch a box, a star, a cat, or a dragon if you're a more person into the art. You can also have image recognition technology that can convert your sketch into a more polished image. You can also share your Gembot or your gems with collaborators. So within the Gembot, you can work with up to 50 people at once, which is great if you have a large team. You can add your Google Docs, your sheets, and slides as references if you want. You can view and edit your gem files from anywhere as long as you have stable internet connection. You can create, edit, and share gems from your phone, your tablet, your computer. You can open a gem on a nearby Gembot from your phone or your tablet. You can connect with your computer to Gembot. And Gembot displays your screen and lets you control your computer from your bot touch screen. So you can pick up where you left off with your colleagues and have a brainstorm session with Gembot. Give it a try when you have the next brainstorming session. And then we have Google Drive. So with Google Drive, you can store files on the cloud, which enables you to share working documents, presentation, and sheets with ease. You can encourage collaborations and work with your colleagues on one central file. With Google Workspace, it allows a flexible storage option, so you'll have enough space for your files. It allows data loss prevention, and with shared drives, you can store your team's work in a secure, easy to manage shared space. Any files that are added on your drive are owned collectively by your team, so everybody stays up to date with whatever that's within your drive. So you can collaborate on live documents and files. You can share, comment, and tag, and also edit your team's members into like the documents and ease. Plus, also you can tag your colleagues on a document. So, another way of boosting collaboration is to make suggestions and tagging your colleagues. So, when you edit a shared document in real time, so we try to reduce the need to send documents back and forth in terms of editing. So, you can suggest changes and comment with ideas. And if you want someone to see where you have changed or comment, you can also tag your colleague to increase the visibility and to boost the collaboration within that document. To tag that specific person, you can simply type at followed by their colleague, like your colleague's name, and that way you will take them at that document or that specific part of the document that you want them to see. So you can reply to the comments and track changes so that um, you could see the improvements that people are doing onto your document. So that's the nice thing about your Google Drive, your Google Sheets. You're able to keep track of the people that are on your document. So also you are able to track your changes when you are collaborating on your document. Of course, it's very important to see what people are doing on the document, to keep track of any changes on that specific document. So if you're collaborating with several people on a single file, it could be very difficult to pinpoint who made a certain change and when. So to keep track of changes in a shared file, it makes it easier to identify the changes and to also identify who made the changes, so that you are able to pinpoint the specific person so that they can clarify that specific change they made. You can also revert back to the previous version of the document. That way, you are able to see the previous document before any changes were made. So with Google Workspace, it also enables you to view all the edits made to your documents and files, and also it also restrict access to ensure that collaboration efforts are managed and reviewed effectively. So it's important to see that reviewing it's done accordingly and it's done well. And as a manager, for example, it's also good to see who was keeping track of or rather who is doing those changes onto your document. So to review, how do you review or track changes, right? So step one, you need to open your file in Google Drive. Always remember that you need stable connectivity for you to do this, right? So you open your file on Google Drive, and then from your docs, your sheet or slide, select file, and then select version history, and then you will see the version history. And then what you also need to understand with regards to reviewing changes, you need to know that you need to be the owner or the editor to access the file and to be able to see the version history. So once you've done that, once you've opened your file on Google Drive, whether it's doc, sheet, or slides, and you've selected file, version history, and see version history, you will then click on the timestamp to see a previous version of the file. So what timestamp may you see? You will see the name of the people who edited the document. You will see a color next to the person's name. So the edits they made will appear in that color. So if it's Quinterest who made this edit in green, so the edit will appear in green. And then step 4, which is optional, to revert, name or copy a previous version, you will need to restore this version to make it an active version. So to make sure you want to go back to that original version, you need to restore that version, right? You need to name this version to a previous version name. And you can also make a copy to create a previous version. So if you want to make a previous version, or rather to see the previous version, you can also make a copy. So with tracking changes, you can also view who opened a file you've shared, which is important to see if the people that you've shared the document with have opened that document. So if someone says something, have they opened that specific document? You can also see what has changed in a file since you last opened it. Like I said, it's important to keep track of the changes. Some things are meant to not be changed and therefore should stay like that. If someone has made a change and you need clarification about that, it's important that you see what is changed. You are also able to share, or rather to see who you have shared the file with. So it's important to know who you have shared the file with, and if there's someone who still needs the file, then you are able to share with them or notify them that you have shared that specific file with them. You are also able to see who has commented, who has edited or shared, or moved a file within your documents. So that is how you are able to track changes. It's very important that way you keep track of everything that is happening on that document that you've shared with your colleagues. I'm going to pause for questions. And before we wrap up today's sessions, I'd like to take this few moments or minutes to just answer any questions. So please don't forget to engage with us in the chat box. Let us know how we're doing. Ask us any questions. If you want to know about any tool that we've spoken about. I know we've covered quite a lot in terms of Google Workspace, and we did mention that with Google Workspace, it used to be called G Suite, and it's a digital workspace where it allows a business or colleagues to collaborate and work together. And within Google Workspace, we mentioned that we have tools such as Google Doc, we have Google Sheets, we have Google Forms, we have Gmail, we have Chat, we also have Google Current. We looked at Gembot, which is a collaborative space where we are able to brainstorm ideas and work together to just create a mind map of what we want to put out there. We also looked at video conferencing tools such as Google Meet. So Google Meet, as I've mentioned, it allows you to collaborate and work together and host video calls where you can discuss any topic that you may have. So that is just a quick summary of what we have done. So if you have any questions, comments, please do let us know in our chat box. So I see we don't have any questions. How are we doing? How are you finding the session? So do engage with us in the chat box. We'd like to know how we're doing. Being quiet means we're doing very well, which excites me. That means you're understanding what we're saying in terms of these Google tools that are available on Google Workspace, which is great because it can truly benefit you and your business in terms of increasing collaboration, increasing communication within your workspace, and working together to make sure that the business grows, the business does better, and to also look at the data and insights that we have so that we do much better in our businesses, right? So I see that. Brenda Mohale, thank you so much for joining us and engaging with us today. Says that Google Meet increases collaboration. Most definitely. It allows us to engage, to talk, and to make sure that whatever we collaborate on works for the business, the best interests of the business, and also increases probably our revenues or finances or puts us out there as a business. So thank you so much for commenting, Brenda Mahali. We hope you are enjoying our session today. So let's continue. So please note or remember that Google is offering a free one on one mentoring if you are a small business or a charity. All you have to do is sign up for Google Mentoring at the link that is shown on the presentation. The link will also be shared in the chat box for easy access so that you're able to sign up for this Google Mentoring that will assist you and your business. So, what is the next step from here? So, your next step is that this is only the beginning of the session, or rather, the beginning in terms of understanding Google Workspace. What you have to do is find out the tools that work best for you, or select tools that you feel most comfortable with and give it a shot. You can also sign up for Google Workspace as the steps mentioned earlier on and implement anything that you find that works best for your business. And also, you can also participate in finding courses or short courses and training programs and see what other programs best suit your business by going to the Grow with Google SA site, which my colleague Pitile Bavundla will share in the chat box. The link is https / grow.google /intl /SSA. So this is the link where you can find the various short courses and training program if you'd like to further read or further understand in terms of the services that Google have to offer. So thank you for joining our session today. So if you'd like to hear more about our upcoming sessions, as well as all the digital tips and tricks, you can follow Google Digital Skills for Africa on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Twitter, they are Digital Skills AF. On Facebook, they are Digital Skills for Africa. And on Instagram, it's Digital D Skills AF. So we are also SchoolNet South Africa. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are SchoolNet South Africa on all of the three platforms, which is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. We are SchoolNet South Africa. If you'd like to find out more about our upcoming sessions, thank you so much. We have a session tomorrow at 4 p.m. Please do join us for that session. We also have another session on Thursday at 4 p.m. Please do make time to join us and have a lovely afternoon.